In this lesson, we are going to implement cart components. First of all, let's check the task management. Right here, the yellow row shows that a cart component needs to show selected item in the cart on the right sidebar. Implement add to cart. When you click on add to cart, this product will be added to your cart and the text here should be changed. Let's say I just remove this. The shopping cart is empty, but when I add an item to the cart, it shows the number of items in the cart. Let's add another one. You see, it's like this. We need to implement multiple click on add to cart. If I add multiple items from this product, it should increase the number of items of this product. Let's see. And based on it, the total should change. So in this lesson, we are going to implement this section. So we are going to update the value here, show a list of items in the cart, show the total items, and a proceed button. We're not going to implement the proceed one in this lesson, just have it right here. Here is the plan to implement this feature. First of all, we set this task inside the task manager to active one. Then it's time to create a branch. Click here, new branch, cart component. And the next step is gonna be in product.js. We need to set the add to cart event handler to this.props.add to cart because the parent component, which is app.js, is responsible to handle this event. Let's open products component from src components, open products, and you can press Command P or Control P in Windows system and type the name of file you are looking for, like this, like products, and then press enter. It's another way to get access to a file inside VS Code. What we need to change here is the click handler for button. Here is the button, and I'm going to add on click event. Inside that, this.props.add to cart. But here we need to pass the current product as a parameter. What we need to do is to create an arrow function here, and then inside parentheses, I'm passing product. So we have done step 4. Let's go for step 5. In the app.js, let's create a state for cart items and set it to empty array. Inside app.js, in the state section, set cart items to empty array. It means that by default, there is no item in the cart. Next move should be creating add to cart function. Here next, before sort products, I'm going to define add to cart like a method function, and the parameter is product. And inside this function, first of all, let's create a duplicate from cart items. So const cart items equal to this.state.cartItems.slice. So it's a clone copy of cart items inside state. And then it's time to create a for each over cart items dot for each, and for each element item, I just check if item dot id equal to current product that we are going to add to the cart. If it's already exists, I just update the number of counts. That's it. And also I need to set a flag already in cart to true. And before that, for each, I define a let variable and set the already in cart to false. After this for each, I check if the product is already in cart or not. If it's not in the cart, it means that I need to push this item inside the cart items. So cart items dot push. Here I'm going to use the spread operator using this style dot product. It means that instead of having product, I'm going to have the fields of product here, and then put a comma and set the count to 1. It means that I'm going to add an instance of this product with count number 1 as a new item inside cart items. That's it. Now that I have the new items inside the cart items, it's time to go for implementing the cart sidebar. To implement that, first of all, we need to create a new component inside component folder and set it to cart.js. So let's follow the steps here. We have done the step number 8, and it's time for step number 9. We just created cart.js, and it's time to define cart items from this.props. Let's go for it. Inside cart.js, type RCC, press tab to create a class-based component. Inside the render function, first of all, we need to check the cart items. So before that, return command, let's use const cart items. I'm using the deconstructing assignment, this.props. So what's the meaning of this line? From the parent component, I'm getting the cart items here. And here I check the cart items. If cart items.length equal to 0, it means that the cart is empty. Cart is empty. And I'm going to add two styles to this div. The first one is cart, and the second one is cart header to create a border at the bottom of this line. So the second condition, if there is item inside this, let's create another item, but this time cart is not empty. You have this number in the cart. So that's the change we have made inside the cart items. Let's go for testing this. Inside the app.js, first of all, we need to add cart component inside the sidebar. So get rid of this text and use cart component, press tab, and we need to fill cart items like this. And the cart items comes from this state.cart items. Inside product.js, we are using add to cart from props. So we need to go to app.js, and inside products component, we need to add to cart. We need to define add to cart as a property, and who is responsible for this? It's this.add to cart. After setting this property, it's time to go to add to cart function, and after adding new stuff to the cart items, we need to update the state. This dot set a state, and inside that, cart items should be cart items. Now, if I click on add to cart, you see I have one item in the cart. Let's add another one. So the first part works, but it's not the same style as this. Let's implement a style for this. Go to index.css inside src folder, and at the very end, create a section index.css. First of all, define cart and then cart header. For cart header, we are going to define a border button, just this border button, 0.1 rem, gray color, solid. For cart, let's define padding 1 rem, margin 1 rem, display flex, and set the flex wrap. Let's check the results. Yeah, as you see, we have the same result like the final one. So it's time to go for creating list of cart items here. To do that, open cart.js and create another div, and inside this div we are going to define a div for cart items. Set the class to cart, and inside that define a UL and set class name to cart items. Inside this, we are going to create a map function to convert the cart items to li elements. Cart items.map, each item should be converted to li. Set the key to this to cart._id, and inside this li we are going to form a row for cart items. The first of all, define a div. Inside this div, create an image. Set src of image to cart.image and set alt to cart.title. So here we have the image of this item. It's time to create another div to put the name of this. For name of it, create a div and set cart.title. Also, there should be a button. The button is gonna remove an item from the cart. Unclick should be implemented. This dot props dot remove from cart, and the parameter is item. Don't forget to make it like an arrow function, and the title is remove. For cart items here, it should be item, not cart item. Yes, because we are working on elements of cart items, not the cart items itself. So we just created a very simple form of cart items here. Let's make sure that everything works perfect. Move this div from here inside the parent div. So by this change, there is no error. So I have a parent div. This is the first for showing cart summary, and here is to show the cart data. Let's check the results. Add a new item. You see, it just added to the list but we need to add some style to make it a small, like this. Make it a small. Good. Let's go for the style. The functionality of cart items works, but for style, we need to go to index.css and create a class for cart items. Set padding to 0 because it's a UL and we are going to reset the padding. Set the width to 100% and set list style type to none. The second style is gonna be for image inside cart items. So for image, I'm going to set the width to 5 rem. For li inside the cart items, we need to set the display to flex because we are going to put stuff in a row and create a padding for div inside the li. So cart items li div, set it to padding to, let's say, 0.5 rem. It's gonna be like 5 pixel. And also for cart items li, for the last child, create flex 1. Here is the result. What I'm gonna do is to move the remove button to the right. Create a right class and set text align to right. After creating right class, it's time to create another div next to item.title and move the button inside that and set the class name for this to right. And don't forget, we need to show the number of items and also the price. It should be like this. Item.price, and we are going to use format currency. Press tab and use it, and then create small x and then item.count. Let's add a new item. Yes, see, it should be like this. I can create a very small space between these two. Just add a space like this. It is very similar to the final one. Let's add class button. And then, yes. Can you compare that? They are very similar to each other. It's time to implement the remove button. For remove, we need to go to app.js and before add to cart, create remove from cart. It just accepts the item we are going to remove. It just accepts the product we are going to remove. And inside this, we need to create an instance of cart items. And then for cart items, let's filter based on ID is not equal to product.id. So by having this command, we get rid of the current product that user selected to remove. Let's set this as a new cart item in the state. To do that, this dot set a state product cart items equal to, and cut this code and move it right here. By having this code, you just remove the selected item. After creating remove from cart function, it's time to set it as a property for cart. Let's scroll down and find the cart and set remove from cart to this dot remove from cart. Let's check the result. Add to cart, remove from cart. You see, it works. Let's implement the total part. It's very simple. What we need to do is to go to cart component, and at the very end of UL and right after this div, create another div and set the class name to cart, and inside that create another div and set the class name to total. Inside total, create a div for showing total. It should be cart items dot reduce. We are going to reduce function. Reduce function accept two parameters, accumulator and current item. We are going to sum accumulator by current item dot price multiply by current item dot count and set the default value to 0. Don't forget to wrap it inside format currency, because we are going to put a $sign before that. That's it. So here is a total, and don't forget to put a total column and put a space here and create a button. Next to that, set class name to button primary and proceed. We will implement the onClick event later. Let's check the result. You see, when there is no item inside basket, it should be hidden. So for this, I use conditional statement, conditional rendering, check cart items dot length. If is not equal to 0, then I move the whole code here. You see, this time it's not, but if I add an item to cart, you can see this. Let's style the total part to make it like this. Create a dot total, set display to flex, justify content space between, and set width to 100%. For total divs, I mean the direct divs, set flex to 1. And to make it in exactly the same line, set align items to center. Here we need to set flex 1 for button 2, and yeah, it should be like this. And also for font size, for this one, set font size to 2 rem. Yeah, here is the things. Here is our result, and here is the final one. They are very similar to each other. That's it for this lesson. We just implemented a very simple cart components, which has some features like add an item to cart, remove an item from cart, show the total, and show a summary at the top. For the next session, based on this, we are going to add some animation and add a modal box. So let's make it done and set it color green. And the next one should be this. At the end of this lesson, like all lessons, we need to publish our works. Here there are 4 files that have been changed, and we need to add a comment, cart component, and keep control and press enter, and then click on publish changes. After it's done, go to your GitHub repository for this And here there should be a new alert. Click on compare and pull request, click create pull request, click merge pull request and confirm it. That's it. Let's go back to VS Code, click on card component, select master, and then click on synchronize changes. So by having this, you are ready for next feature. Don't forget to check your result and make sure that it works like before. That is great. So see you on next lesson to add some animation and front-end stuff to the work. Until that, bye-bye.